An unthinkable tragedy struck west of Gaza City today. An airdrop meant to bring help to those in despair turned deadly. Watch as a parachute fails to open and the package comes apart in midair before plummeting to the ground. 5 people were crushed to death, 10 others injured, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. Parachutes for aid drops are part of a new pledge by Ottawa to try and help civilians in Gaza. But a more contentious move involves an announcement to restore funding to a UN agency. It was suspended after allegations some staff were involved in the October 7th attack by Hamas. CTV's Adrian Ghobrial reports.
As the situation on the ground in Gaza turns from desperate to dire, Canada announced an about-face today.
We're looking at the mass starvation of children, women and men in northern Gaza particularly.
Canada is the first G7 country to restart relief funding for UNRWA, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian refugees in the Near East. Canada's Minister of International Development saying holding back aid is no longer a viable option, even for an organization still under an active investigation for its ties to Hamas.
UNRWA is the backbone of the humanitarian response to the needs of Palestinian civilians in Gaza.
So far, the Canadian government has only reviewed an interim report following allegations that some UNRWA staff were involved in the Hamas attacks on October 7th. Those workers have since been released by the UN.
We know that the situation on the ground is horrendous. We have children dying of starvation.
These are all stacks of Canadian humanitarian aid, and in similar warehouses in Jordan and in Dubai right now, there's identical skids of federal relief, which are set to head into Gaza.
I was in Jordan yesterday and I saw these essential goods being loaded into planes destined for Gaza.
With the risk of widespread famine on the ground, Canada will now also be helping from above, announcing it will be assisting Jordan and the World Food Programme with airdrops into northern Gaza. While desperately needed, it's far from an ideal situation.
We're just going to see panic, and it's going to be absolutely chaos on the ground.
With the Islamic holy month of Ramadan just days away, the outlook remains bleak. Ceasefire talks ended this week in Cairo without a deal in place. It should go without saying, but the minister also reiterated today that Canada has a zero-tolerance policy for any UN staff working with a terrorist organization. Heather.
Thanks, Adrian.